All right, you have to say your last name because I can't pronounce it.
Let's give it a shot. Let's see what
I
happens.
can't, but
Yeah, do it, you do it.
yeah, what is it?
Okay, my name is Eli Ben-Fioun. Yes, I am a Moroccan Persian Jew at a Yiddish theater company in New York. Well, I grew up in a Chabad community, and probably my favorite thing, and still is, was to sing a Niggun. A Niggun is a wordless melody that expresses a range of emotions, joy, like any piece of music. But there's a certain quality to a Niggun that always touched me very deeply, and still does. So I'm very appreciative for the opportunity to sing it here and share it with you today. So here it goes. Actually, not quite aimlessly. I was starving and looking for somewhere to eat. My wanderlust and indecisiveness turned my search into a walking tour of the up-and-coming neighborhood I was in, which bordered the Vistula River. I climbed up a hill, which circled around a delightfully green park, which was more clearly visible in the daylight. To my right was a massive pub, tucked away on a dark street corner, surrounded by a sobering version of Parisian-style apartment buildings. I walked in and asked for a menu. The kitchen was closed, but the pub was still full of people, talking, smoking, and drinking beer. This was totally my scene, except for the alcohol plant I started 8 months ago. But I still felt the rush of adventure and random conversation wash over me. I walked out, feeling like I might access this experience some other time in my life, but not tonight. I continued walking down Maui Street, one of Warsaw's historic thoroughfares. And as I made my way down the street, I noticed a Bavarian-style microbrewery. A woman walked out of it. She asked me for a light. I didn't have one. But wanting to keep the banter going, I asked her if the kitchen was open. She caught a light from another passerby but gestured at me to sit with her while she finished her cigarette. She obviously had a few drinks in her, but was lucid enough to carry on a conversation. Her name was Anna. Turns out she's a single mom, and this was a rare night out for her. The people she was with was a guy that she matched with on Bumble. Friends with a guy that she matched with on Bumble. She wasn't interested in him, but she enjoyed hanging out with his friends. She finished her cigarette and invited me in. They're all black. Come and meet them. I was jolted at how casually she racially profiled her friends. And then I remembered I hardly saw any people of color rolling. I walked into the bar, ordered some food, and sat down with them. I said hello, but they hardly seemed to notice me. I followed their gaze and saw TVs scattered across the room. There were only 2 minutes left to a football match between Liverpool and Barcelona. The team they were rooting for, FC Barcelona, was down 4-0. So no, they hardly noticed I was there. I sat quietly, mildly interested in the game, but much more interested in the people sitting next to me. I wondered, where were they from? Everyone else in the bar was also glued to the game, yelling at the screen. 5 minutes later, Barcelona was defeated. In a matter of seconds, they went from wildly cheering and gesturing to blank stares, some of them openly crying. I tried resuming conversation with some of them, and they looked at me like I was mad. This was no time for casual chit-chat. I asked the guy sitting next to me who he rooted for. He chuckled. It's just a game. Anyway, my team wasn't playing tonight. His name was Kevin. And we launched into a conversation about sports to the extent that I'm capable of such a thing. I asked him where he was from. He said Rwanda. My ears perked up. I asked him if he was there during the genocide, and he said that he was. My mother hid my brother, sister, and I, constantly moving from place to place so we wouldn't get caught. I asked him if it was okay to ask about his experience, and he said that it was. I was only 4 years old during the genocide, and I don't remember much. But the aftermath was a horror for itself, and I remember it vividly. Once, I was playing football with my friends, and the ball rolled into a nearby field. My friend ran after it, and it was blown to pieces right in front of me. I had mine hitting in the grass. Violence and fear were a daily occurrence. You could see a faraway look come over him, and his confident and happy demeanor from before was slipping away. This conversation was clearly triggering deep traumas for him. With a tortured look on his face, and in a voice barely above a whisper, he wondered, why did this have to happen? Why is there so much hate and violence? Continued looking away. It doesn't make sense. I swallowed, trying to maintain my composure. This was a rare moment when the universe actually felt like it was in sync. Kevin, can I tell you something? I'm in Poland to write about the Holocaust, a genocide that ravaged my people 70 years ago. And here I am meeting you, a survivor of a genocide. Can I share with you what I wrote? I took out my phone and showed him the article that I've been working on all day. It included an exchange between a rabbi and a teenager that I witnessed only a few days earlier. A group of teenagers were visiting Poland with the March of the Living program. And during Shabbat on Saturday afternoon, they visited the Chabad welcome tent in Warsaw. During the Q&A with the rabbi and the delegation I was part of, one of the teenagers asked, "Why did God allow the Holocaust to happen?" The rabbi responded, "I don't know, and I don't want to know. I prefer to hold on to my humanity and live in a world where violence is irrationalized. If the murder of children should ever make sense to me, I'll regret that day for the rest of my life." I watched Kevin closely, and I could see layers of emotion pass over him. He silently handed the phone back to me, and I asked him, "Kevin, what is it like to be a person of color in Poland?" And he said, "It's challenging. There are certain bars he knows not to go into, certain streets that are dangerous to walk down. People look at him funny. What is he doing there? When he sees another person of color on the street, they exchange knowing glances. The worst part is that I can't talk about this with anyone. No one would get it. As if on cue, Anna sat down next to us. Calvin stopped talking. I sat there in shock. I was witnessing the very attitudes that led to the slaughter of 6 million Jews in this very part of the world. I was so fortunate to be here reflecting on the Holocaust in hindsight, but it felt so pathetically tragic to see how on some level we never seem to learn. History repeats itself in front of our very eyes, even as we yell, "Never again." Anna asked what we were talking about, and Kevin mumbled vaguely in response. And in that moment, Kevin and I forged a bond. A bond to remember, a bond to speak up, to show up, and most of all to care, to be in tune with the humanity around us. And maybe, just maybe, in 70 years from now, one wandering writer will have one less story to tell.
Wow, that's a really nice story. Thank you for sharing that. We're venturing now into a section of the piece in which we are talking. We've been writing about kind of aspects of our history. And take it away.